Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Horsepower Obsessed. Today, we're going to discuss the C8, specifically one of the most important aspects to this car, in my opinion, and that is, what is it going to look like? Alright guys, by now we've all seen a rendering or two of this car. Chaz Cron, who is very big on the mid-engine Corvette forum.com, has made numerous renderings of this car. All of them are more detailed than the next. He has put a lot of great work into them and made them look so authentic that it's actually hard to tell them apart from the real deal. Some people like the renderings, while others are completely turned off by the looks of them. I've always said I'm going to wait and see what the final product looks like before making too much of an opinion. I love what I'm hearing performance-wise with this car, but until I see the real deal revealed by GM, I'm not going to make up my mind on this car. From the very beginning, all of these renderings have looked pretty much the way they do now, minus a few details here and there. The overall look of the rendering hasn't changed. This tells me that based on what we've seen of this car so far, they're probably pretty accurate and there isn't much that's going to need changing. I actually found a video released in August of 2012 that showed an artist's rendering of exactly what the C7 Corvette was going to look like. Just like with the C8 renderings, this was just a guess at what it could look like based on spy shots, camo-wrapped cars on the track, and rumors. I'll play the video for you here. Let me know what you think. As you can see, this artist's rendering was almost spot on. There were very few differences in the final product, and overall you can easily tell it's the same car as the initial launched Stingray. Keep in mind, this video rendering was made public about 5 months before an actual reveal from GM. Now, I don't know about you guys, but it really tells me something about these renderings we're seeing currently for the C8. Odds are very good. This is very close to what this car is actually going to look like. Again, minus very small details. In that video rendering for the C7, the only thing that really stood out to me was the fact that the headlights were slightly wrong, and there was a tiny little bit of body design that was inaccurate. Overall, like I said, you can look at that video and immediately tell that was a C7. The Stingray we ended up getting in 2014 looked almost exactly like that. If rumors are to be believed, and the fact that the dealerships are now taking deposits for it, we are pretty close to a reveal for the C8 as well. About the same distance away as we were from the C7 with that last rendering I just showed. We're getting renderings on what seems like a daily basis and new spy shots just as often for this C8. Other than some very fine details, it's starting to look like these renderings may actually be more accurate than I originally thought. Now, here is one of the most recent video renderings from Chazcron showing the C8 Corvette in a little bit greater detail. Now, based on similar information that was used to construct that C7 years ago in that video rendering, this C8 rendering may be pretty close. I would say that that C7 rendering was at least 90% accurate with only a very few small details missing. So this could be it, guys. We could actually be looking at what this car will really look like once GM launches it. Now, of course, it is possible that GM is purposely throwing us off on this car's appearance because of how accurately the looks were rendered with the C7 back in the day, but I'm not so sure. Are you happy with the C8 if it ends up looking like the current renderings? Let me know what you think down below. Now, of course, with any of my C8 videos, I'm not going to just leave you with something that simple. I want to also deliver some more interesting rumors or leaks that the internet has to offer. The latest comes from CorvetteBlogger.com, and it was supposedly taken directly from the Cadillac president, Steve Carlisle. He flat out said that the black wing Cadillac engine would not be shared with any other platform, and that includes the C8. He actually said, quote unquote, over my dead body when asked if this engine would show up in any other platform. So I think it's pretty safe to say the C8 is not going to be getting this engine. Of course, as always, I'll link this in the description down below, so feel free to check it out. It was rumored for a while that they would share this power plant between Cadillac and the C8 mid-engine Corvette. And it actually made a lot of sense, considering there's also a lot of rumors out there suggesting we may get a mid-engine Cadillac right around the same time we get the C8 Corvette. But if Steve Carlisle is to be believed, then it looks like it is a hard no on the engine sharing front. That's actually pretty exciting to me because I'd rather the Corvette not share anything with any other car. It should be built to be the high-end performance car that GM wants it to be, and not having the same engine show up in multiple cars throughout their lineup. I think for the C8 mid-engine Corvette to be as special as GM intends it to be, it should share no parts, especially not an engine, with any other car sold by GM. This is something that's going to allow it to maintain more of a quote-unquote supercar appeal. Whenever you take a car like a Corvette and you're immediately sharing the engine or the drivetrain in other cheaper cars throughout your lineup, you cheapen the top-end dog as well. I know most of this is just wishful thinking, but based on what I'm reading here, that Cadillac is not interested in sharing any parts, that's actually a good thing. It's fantastic. I really hope that GM runs with this and continues this trend of not sharing parts. Lastly, I'm going to leave you with a short video of the car in Detroit testing in rainy weather. It's short, it's sweet, you can hear a little bit of the engine as well as see it in real life on the street. Well, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Give me a big thumbs up if you liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And as always, I'm going to catch you guys in the next upload.